So I got done watching, as most of you probably have, I have finished watching Fantastic Four, The First Steps, the movie in which I feel is like a direct response to James Gunn's Superman. All bullshit aside, it kind of does feel like some kind of rap beef going on. I feel like it's Joyner and Skepta, but neither one of these movies were Skepta because they were actually good. All jokes aside though, man, this Marvel cooked with this one, man. Let me just start off with this review by just saying that I love this movie. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did, but I feel like Marvel really beat the brakes off with this one. Y'all know the premise of this movie, man. We got the Fantastic Four in a new universe, their own universe, 4 years into their career as the Fantastic Four after their accident in space. And now when the Silver Surfer shows up to mark their world for death, Galactus is quickly the follow-up, motivated to devour their world and take away their child, that is Franklin Richards. Knowing how powerful this child is and will probably be in the future. I'm not gonna spoil the movie for you guys. I'm gonna leave it there. But starting off, man, like I said, man, I really love this movie. The movie just from the jump starts off really fast, throwing you into a whole bunch of information of what's been going on in these last 4 years for the Fantastic Four. You know, we learned that they have been established for 4 years, and we do get like a 5-minute montage kind of catching you up, almost telling somewhat of an origin story for them. It does hold your hand a little bit in the beginning. I think it's kind of longer than it needs to be, but nonetheless, the sequences that they show are really enjoyable, and it is full of amazing visual treats throughout this little montage thing that they got going on. From that point on, it feels like nonstop information, getting right into what the big concern for this group is, for this universe is. But even with that being said, the pace of this movie is not sloppy at all. I feel like it is very consistent and it's very well managed, which honestly kind of shocked me a little bit because there is a lot going on in this movie. Another thing that I will say about the movie from the very start, the thing that shines the most is the dynamic between these four and their relationship. It shines through from the beginning straight to the end, the entire movie. That is the best part of this film, in my opinion. There is so much chemistry between these guys, and they really do feel like a little family, whether it's Johnny and Ben kind of cracking on each other, Reed and Sue being, of course, the parental figures of the group, even their little robot Herbie, he feels like a genuine part of the family. Both together and individually, these characters really do shine. Sue is definitely a mom and has this care, this motherly leadership about her that feels so natural, and she is absolutely 100% a badass. Ben is extremely likable, even though you do get a little bit of these moments where you can tell that he has this internal struggle about his appearance and maybe what he wants to do and unable to do now. He still makes the best of this situation and is very much so part of the comedic relief in this movie too. Him and Johnny together had me laughing every time that they were on screen together. And Johnny too. Johnny is very charismatic. He's very witty, absolutely the wild uncle type. Definitely loves the ladies. He has a few moments with Silver Surfer that are pretty awesome, but he also has some very real moments to shine that I didn't think that they were going to actually give to the character. The early 2000s Fantastic Four, I feel, painted Johnny in this picture of more kind of the dumb comedic uncle, cocky and sure of himself. This movie does not do that. I mean, yeah, Johnny is still Johnny, but he has a little bit more depth, a little bit more brain power, I think, in this movie, and that was really cool to see. Those moments that he does have with the Silver Surfer are very incredible and honestly do a lot of heavy lifting for the overall story of the film. Pedro as Reed Richards, yo, this was a pleasant surprise because, as I think most people had, Pedro as Reed was my biggest skepticism about this film. I did not think that I was going to be able to see Reed, and instead I would see Pedro. I would see The Mandalorian. I would see friggin' Last of Us and Game of Thrones. But I gotta say, this might be his best performance in my opinion. And I think that Pedro is a phenomenal actor, but the way that he plays Reed in this movie, he delivers this character as being absolutely the smartest person in the room. He's very brilliant. He's very determined. He's a bit awkward and a bit clueless to social cues and stuff like that. Also seems kind of removed sometimes or uninterested in maybe the family thing, even though we know that he's not. And I think that he delivers not only maybe his best performance, but the best portrayal of Reed Richards that we've gotten in live action. Silver Surfer was absolutely amazing. That was another one that I was not too sure about how I was going to feel. But man, Shia LaBeouf was intimidating. She was stoic and she really sold this role that she was this herald and this deed doer of Galactus. In a lot of the marketing, I wasn't too much a fan of the way she looked, and honestly I think that that was just a problem with myself, because she looked really good in this movie. Not only that, she was so badass in every action scene that she got, and there were some heavy action sequences with her like surfing the flames and surfing the sky, and it was really dope to see. And she as a character had a lot of depth too. The story is briefly told in this movie, but it does seem that they kind of went the Norin Rad route and kind of gave that backstory to her, which was something that kind of bothered me when I was following the rumors and the leaks and all that type of stuff. But you know what, seeing it executed on screen, it worked just fine. Didn't bother me at all. Galactus, dude, Galactus is a menace in this movie. And talk about intimidating. Galactus was intimidating and really was like this incredibly godly figure. His presence is felt throughout the entire movie. Not only that, he's kind of an asshole. In this movie, Galactus, there is a moment that he toys with Reed in a way. And in this moment, it just shows you the joy on Galactus when he is doing these deeds, man. I shit you not. While doing so, there is this menacing smirk on his face, dude, that is just up front and center and just showing you how much he is enjoying this. And that was crazy. Know a little bit about the Galactus character from the comics, but I did not think that he was like enjoying this shit. The overall story of this movie that is surrounding this movie of Galactus, you know, marking this earth for death, Franklin Richards being his main target and wanting to take him, I thought was crazy. That intensity, that motive is felt throughout the entire film. You really do get a sense on how stressed out this team is, how bad they're trying to make sure that this doesn't happen. And even though it is true, I feel like most of us kind of knew the plot of what was going on in this movie. I think that they decided to show a little bit too much when it comes to the marketing. Seeing it in action though, oh man, the emotion for this family that is fighting for their world and for their child, like I said, it is felt so intensely throughout the movie, and it makes me extremely excited for Franklin's future in the MCU. I definitely think he's going to be a big part in the projects to come, and man, that kind of gets me excited, man. As far as the way that this movie looked, it was phenomenal. The skeptical was great. This little aesthetic of being in this retro but yet futuristic 1960s-esque kind of world matched up perfectly with the tone, with the team. It was really cool to see all these flying cars and kind of futuristic tech, but still rocking some old school cameras and TVs. I think it complemented the movie really well, and it was a nice kind of change of scenery that is seeing the same New York get messed up all the damn time. This is cool. I will say that there was a couple CGI moments that look too great. Kind of the CGI baby, especially when CGI Ben is holding him, looks a little bit wonky at times, but it wasn't that bad. Or even there are some moments where Reed is using his powers and he kind of looks a little bit like pasted on there. I don't really know. It looked a little bit weird at times, but even with that, it was nothing too horrendous, nothing that pulled me out of the moment. I thought that for the most part, it was fine. I guess CGI babies are kind of hard to do or something. The beginning, as I said at the top of this video, I also think was a little bit unnecessary, at least the length that it was given to kind of give a summary of the origin of this team. I do feel like it was a little bit too long, but once the movie decides to get away from that and we start to focus on the main story and what is happening now, it takes off, and it does a phenomenal job at keeping you entertained the entire way through. Now, elephant kind of in the room, everybody's going to be making the comparison between Fantastic Four and Superman. And what's crazy about this is I really don't think that you need to. Surprisingly enough, at least surprising to me, these movies are two totally different tones. They invoke different emotions. The tone is very different to each of them, and I really enjoyed that for both of them. Now, with that being said, I do think that Superman's box office is going to take a bit of a hit because of this movie. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles, man. But as far as like which one's better, I couldn't really tell you, honestly. I love them both. If you are going to see it, remember that there are 2 post-credit scenes. And man, that first one don't get you hyped, bro. Something's wrong with you. It's just enough to make you sit there and think, holy shit, and not really give away too much. But I will tell you this, because of this movie, I am so excited for what is to come. We got a whole year and some change, the next MCU movie, and we're gonna have to sit through some questionable projects at best until then. But as far as the movies go, as far as this build up to Doomsday and Secret Wars go, man, I'm excited and I'm gonna be itching for more, man. This Marvel 100% cooked with this, and I think that this is a good indicator that they can still make good movies. I thought that about Thunderbolts. I thought Thunderbolts was a good movie, but y'all didn't go see it. But if nothing else, man, this movie was phenomenal. This movie was great and fantastic. How many people in their videos are doing that one? But that is where I'm gonna leave it, man. At least for, you know, the spoiler-free stuff. That's where I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know if you would like to see a spoiler video and we could talk about some of the interesting stuff that we think is going to happen. There's a lot. If you did stay till the end of this video though, I really appreciate you. Do me a favor, hit that like button so we can get this video spread out to more people. And also consider subscribing to the channel. That way you don't miss any future content that comes out and gets dropped on the channel. I appreciate that, so thank you. Let me know if you went to go see the movie, who your favorite character is down below in the comments. But y'all stay geeked up, man. I'm out of here. Be smooth.